Hi, my good people. Welcome to our fifth episode of Finance for Families podcast. I'm your host, Linda Mack. I like to think of myself as that fire that is igniting those much needed family conversations on finances. Yeah, on our previous podcast episode, we talked on why and how we can go about talking money with our parents. At the end of the episode, I believe we all came to the realization that it's important to not just know how your parents are financially, but physically as well. Yeah. And we shared some pointers on how to go about starting and continuously having conversation so that you can be updated on how they're faring, physically and financially. So if you're listening today, and you need pointers to talk finances with the elders in your life, do make a point of listening to that episode. Yeah. Today, we are right on time for goal setting because the end of a season comes with a very contemplative mood for most of us, especially the end of a year. For me, I find myself reflecting the most as one, when my birthday is approaching, yeah, and two, at the end of the year, yeah, as I'm now looking forward, prayerful that I'll get to see the next year. I'm very contemplative, and most of us, I can bet, are in that space as well of really evaluating how our year has been. What did we want to do as the year started, yeah, and what have we been able to do now that the year is coming to an end? And as we do that, we also think, so what is it that we were not able to do? And what were the reasons behind us not being able to do what we thought we would have been able to do this year? Then we are likely to also now just conclude with telling ourselves, now that do we have that understanding of what we've been able to achieve, what we've not been able to achieve, what do we want to set in motion for the coming year? Yeah. And with that, we start listing now our goals for the coming year. So we can have so many types of goals. You can have family goals. You can have health goals. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to be healthy. So, I want to start taking in more healthy food. You can have social goals. If you're an introvert, like I will just try and go for 2 social events every quarter or something like that. You have career goals. I need to get this promotion. How do I go about it? These are things I need to do to be able to get that. Then you have financial goals. I want to be able to have this amount on my emergency fund. I want to fund this one. So how do I go about all that? The list can be quite long. For this episode, we are going to focus on financial goals. But one thing we notice, as we set these goals, is you find yourself having to look at your financial goals, even when you're setting these other goals. Because most of the time, all these other goals have like a financial implication to them. So you're only able to meet these goals if you get your financial goals right. Yeah? And that's why I want us to focus on getting our financial goals right. We get to realize that our financial goals are very, very important. Yeah, they carry a lot of weight. So we need to be very, very smart when we are setting these financial goals. Yeah. So you can set short-term goals, long-term goals. Short-term goals are goals that you're looking to achieve maybe within the month, within a year, a few years. Think of things like, I want to build my emergency fund to get it to a certain amount, which, for me, that's going to be a good buffer in case of any emergency. That can be dependent on your financial situation. You can achieve that within 6 months, a year, 3 months. You're looking at, like, I want to buy a car. It costs this much. This is how I'm going to get myself there. So you're setting that as a goal, yeah? I want to start investing. This is how I want to go about it. And then you have long-term goals. These are goals that you're looking to achieve over a long period of time, because sometimes you need quite an amount. We need some financial muscle for you to be able to accomplish them. So think of things like building a home, or being able to set up a proper university education fund for your children. Maybe, you want them to go and have education out there. maybe there's a school that they've targeted, they want to go to, and the school fees makes you faint now, but you're thinking, if I'm able to plan now and work on it, becomes part of my goals, and I work on it so that when that time comes, I'm ready for it. So, and all this, whether they're short term, whether they're medium term, whether they're long term goals, they need to be smart. Yeah. And SMART, when you broke it down, so SMART S is they need to be specific. Be specific about the goals you're making. And for me, specific just means make them simple and then understand what is their significance. What's the significance of this goal? And in my life, or in the life of the ones that are going to be affected by me being able to achieve this goal. And then M, measurable. Yeah, think how much or how many, so that you can be able to track the progress. And being able to track the progress, then that means you also know when, at that point, when you've achieved that goal. If I say I want to be able to have maybe 5,000 shares of KCB stock in my investment portfolio by the end of the year. If I'm reviewing my portfolio in June, that is my goal, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, so am I halfway? Because if I want 5,000, around that time I should be around 2,000, 2,500. How much have I been able to accomplish of this goal? Yeah, so it is something that is measurable. Then A is achievable. So in as much as you want your goals to challenge you, make sure they're realistic goals, yeah? So that these are goals that I will just need to stretch myself enough to be able to achieve them. They're not those overly unrealistic goals that will make us demotivated. Yeah. And then R is relevant, because the goals need to be worthwhile and timed right. They should be goals that you have control over and they're aligned with other goals. So if it's short term, it's aligned with your long term goals as well. And T is time bound. Set target dates. I'm working and I'm giving myself this period. That also kind of motivates you as you're working towards, because you're working towards a deadline. Yeah. So SMART goals. Yeah. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Yeah. And when you're making your SMART goals, for me, I believe when you make them right, when you make them smart, one, you're able to monitor your progress. Because being able to know I'm 35% towards achieving my goals, or I'm only like 10% to 15% away from being able to realize this goal, for me, that one is a motivation. And you'll agree with me that we have so much that is going on in our lives that can easily weigh us down and get us to forget these goals. But when you are able to monitor your goals, you reach a point where you come back, you're looking at it and you're like, man, I only have 20% to go. Let me just keep at it. I'm going to get them. It becomes like a pick me up moment, so that even all these other things which are trying to be a distraction, it gets you focused to work towards achieving that goal. It, for me, also the accountability bit. Yeah, you don't set goals to just have them written them down there, and nothing much happens after that. I have goals. I set my financial goals. These are the things I was working. They're in my diary. They're in my planner. All that. Every time I'm opening my diary, I can see them. And that once you set your SMART goals, they need to keep reminding us that I need to work towards them, because you're only able to achieve them if you work towards them. And they're goals that are within your control. So if I don't do anything, if I don't act in ways, take actions that are going to help me achieve my goal, then I don't have anyone to blame. So I'm accountable. I'm the one who's responsible for my goals. Yeah. And for me as well, I see that they help you to clear your priorities. When you set SMART goals, you're always able to think through, why is this goal important to me? Why is this goal first and not third? Why is goal A more important than goal B? This whole process of thinking through that gets you to prioritize, and not just on your financials, but gets you to prioritize your life through that process as well. So it's very important for us to know that even smart goals can fail if they've just been created and they're not actioned. Yeah. So as even if we take our time, let's make sure we take our time to not just create smart goals because, that's, we've been told for me to be able to achieve this, I need to make them smart. But take time to create your smart goals because they are a true reflection of your aspirations and the intentions that you have. And then work towards it, be intentional in achieving them. Yeah. Because personally, I find the biggest challenge when it comes to goals, not just financial goals, but all goals, is the process to progress. You know how we create goals and we are so focused in January, all our actions, we associate them with our goals. I will go to church every Sunday because now I'm looking to grow myself spiritually, and church is what I believe is going to provide that nourishment. Or you tell yourself, I'm going to set aside X amount of money because I want to start buying 300 shares of stock X and grow my portfolio because by the end of the year, I want to have like 3,600 shares and start earning good dividend. In February, we are a bit much, maybe we are still at it. But come around May, life is lifing us to the point where we hardly think about what we are doing and what role it plays in us achieving our goals the way we did in January. So, what can keep us focused on our goals? What is it that can act as that alarm that is not irritating, but is constantly reminding us of our goals and then gets us to action and in that way progress towards achieving our goals? Now, for me, I find two things work for me. One, very simple: connect your goals to something or someone you hold very dear. And this you do by asking yourself, in as much as this goal that I'm setting, this financial goal, is set by me and it's going to benefit me, who else is going to benefit when I achieve it? Yeah. I'm setting this goal. It's my financial goal. Once I achieve it, I'll be able to, this is the benefit I'm going to get. But this benefit, is it only mine or are there other people associated with it? This depends your level of commitment to work towards that goal. Yeah. So for me, I'd be looking at it like, yeah, so I'm working towards this. It's going to be able to, build up my investments to the point where now I can be able to buy this house. This house, who is it going to be beneficial to? Is it just me? It's going to be beneficial for my children. So every other time I'm interacting with my children or we are talking anything about house decor and all that, it always takes me back to the fact that I have this goal that I'm working towards. And this goal is not just for my benefit. It's the benefit for these people that I hold very, very dear to me. Yeah. So that constantly keeps you working towards from, the process to progress. Second for me is having a financial plan. Yeah. Don't plan to fail by just creating the goals and then not making a plan on how you're going to achieve these goals. Because the financial plan will get you to understand, what do I have now? So, what is my income? What are my expenses? What do I have at the end of the day to work with to help me achieve those goals? And then you also get to understand, so what do I need to be able to achieve these goals? I need 10 million, 15 million, I need 200,000 or 500,000 to be able now to start that. How can I be able to get myself to that point where I say, now I have this 500,000 to do that? What do I need to do now to get myself there? And all that, you're only able to do that when you have a plan, because the plan gets you to strategize ways that will get you to achieve your goal. So for me, it's those two, very simple: connect your goals to something or someone or people that you hold very, very dear. Who else is going to benefit? And secondly, have a plan. Yeah. Have a plan of which makes you understand, what do I have now? What do I need to be able to achieve that goal? And then how am I going to be able to achieve that goal? Yeah. So I think it's right to say that setting your financial goals, making them right from the start, will get you focused, will give you a sense of direction, which of course, when you follow, will in the end improve the financial decisions that you make, and gain you some very good financial management skills. Yeah. So taking charge of your goals, when I think about it, for me, is actually an investment. It's an investment in yourself. Yeah, because you're gaining the clarity and the confidence that your financial dreams can actually become a reality. Yeah. And that belief that I just don't have to dream about it. So long as I have this dream I want to accomplish, I make smart goals to get me to achieve that dream, that it is actually achievable. That belief empowers you to financial growth. Yeah. Because remember, again, we said your financial goals are not just for finances, because they have an implication on all your other goals. So you will not just have financial growth. When you gain that financial growth, you're basically gaining like a holistic growth. It's growing you wholly. You experiencing financial growth, you're experiencing mental growth, because now you're like, you have that financial peace. You're experiencing growth in your social life, because if you are at financial peace and you have financial growth, meaning if I do decide I want to take a holiday somewhere and relax, I don't have to think that much about it. I'm able to cater for that. If I need money to cater for medical expenses, I don't have to think much. I have, I've been able to set that aside. So it's very important. And I hope through this, you've been able to see the importance of not just listing smart goals, but listing smart goals and actioning them, getting yourself from that process of listing down your goals to the progress of actually being able to achieve them. Now, for our next episode, we will look into the step-by-step process of creating your financial plan, because I think we've been able to see the importance of having a financial plan to get you to achieve your financial goals. Yeah, because having understood today about smart financial goals, the next step is moving our smart financial goals from that list that we have made into a plan, our financial plan. So do join us next Friday as we talk more on how do we create this financial plan, how do we make it work. So that's it for today, family. Again, the Finance for Families podcast is here to ignite open, honest conversations about money and investing in our families. So let's get talking and empower each other for a better financial future. Thank you, and see you on the next episode. Now, we are 2 days shy of Christmas Day. So allow me to take this chance to say a very, very Merry Christmas to all you, our listeners. Sending you holiday cheer, whichever part of the world you're at. I hope you get the chance to take time off and enjoy with your loved ones, or just enjoy by relaxing and doing the things you love during this holiday season. So enjoy it. Thank you.